Squad 9 Barracks. Hisagi was sitting at his desk, lost in thought, as he looked through past issues of the Seirei Bulletin.
Hey, why the glum face, Shuhei?
Oh, Captain.
Is it about the talk earlier? I guess you can't help getting worked up over that.
Sorry. Did it show on my face? Did you know, Captain, about Captain Tosin... Sorry, I mean Kaname Tosin's past?
I had an inkling. I don't concern myself with my subordinate's past. I didn't really pry back then. I thought I could trust him well enough to do his work without my knowing. Looking back now, maybe I should have delved deeper.
And the Tsuneyashiro nobles?
I don't care about the world of the nobles specifically because of what they are. Kyoraku, Kuchiki, and Yorichi are fine, but I don't want to get mixed up with the average aristocrat.
It would be nice if they were all like Miss Yoroichi.
I think that'd be dangerous in its own way. But I'm impressed you took the job. Sure, it was a unique situation, but I think you could have turned it down and spoken to the other squads about it.
I'm actually still on the fence about it. Half an hour earlier, Squad 1 Barracks. Understood. I'll take on the special edition.
Huh? Really? Are you sure?
Yes, but the Seirei Bulletin is like a castle I inherited from the previous editor-in-chief. So I'm going to look into this myself and determine whether it's worthy of a full special edition.
You're much more willing than I expected. But you should know the Gilded Assembly will have their eyes on you if you go digging through the past. I think you'll be able to keep the Central 46 in check if you ask Little Nayura, though.
I'm not going to cover the past. I'm going to look into the man's present. I'll report things as I honestly see them. If that's acceptable, leave the special edition to me.
You don't have a grudge against them or anything, do you?
Of course I have a grudge. But it's personal. And twisting the article because of my personal resentment would be an insult to Captain Tosin.
All right. In that case, I guess I'll leave it to you. But you can't push it. This is the head of the nobles we're talking about. And they work differently than the 13 court guard squads. He might catch you off guard while you're looking into things and get involved himself.
I'm prepared for that. And if that sort of thing scared me, I'd never cover shady soul reapers.
Really? Even if an alluring gal like Rangiku seduces you?
Huh? Is that really what you think of me? You'd think something like that would get me?
Well, of all the lieutenants, I think you'd be the most susceptible to that sort of thing. After Omaida.
After Omaida?
Oh, but Omaida has money, so he's probably seen it all and gotten used to the sensual pleasures. In which case, you are the most likely
No. Renji is more... he's way more... Let's put that aside. You can leave this to me.
Right. It's good if you're clear-headed about this. You'll run into problems if you're too nervous. And we all know what an aristocrat can do to you.
I understand. I swear on the good name of the Seirei Bulletin I will do this job.
Right. If you need any help, let me know. But I'm a lot busier with head captain duties than I thought I would be, so I can't be there for you the whole time.
Thank you very much. Oh.
What's wrong?
Captain Kyoraku, this touches on a different topic. May I ask you about one more thing?
What is it? It's fine as long as it's something I can answer.
It's about Captain Ukitake and Kugo Ginjo.
You got me there with that timing. Why now?
I met Ginjo today.
I see. Right. You don't need to worry about him in particular. Ukitake asked me to extend a stay on his execution for as long as I could. Officially, we can't exonerate him, so we're being lenient. It's all just a wait and see. So, you heard his side?
Yes, but I can't trust it without hearing the other side first.
You're really an upstanding guy. I think that's good. But now that you've brought it up, could you give me some time?
Some time?
Ukitake was trying to deal with the situation on his own. I don't have the full picture of it. But in my current position, I think I can clarify a lot of the ambiguous aspects. Which means there's a reasonable probability that we'll be able to give Kugo Ginjo a pardon of sorts. And on the other hand, there's a possibility that it'll reveal a criminal among the Soul Reapers.
All right. I'll wait until you look into it. Hisagi then received some casual briefings and permission to cover several stories and left the Squad 1 barracks. As he hurried home, he contemplated upon the name Tokinada Tsuneyashiro and tried to suppress his emotions. His face was so grim as he made his way toward the barracks that it frightened Hanataro Yamada, who he passed on his way. The present, Squad 9 Barracks. Whoa, look at the time! Sorry, Captain, I'm heading over to do an interview.
You're a pretty busy guy. Where are you heading to next?
To Squad 11. I'm covering the thing about the Ryo's left arm with Madarame and Ayasagawa. Half an hour later, Squad 11 Lounge.
Well, that's basically what we saw. Did that help?
Actually, we were pretty much just watching during the fight. A lot of loose ends. Oh, and I kinda hate to admit it, but Nemu's fight was pretty beautiful.
I already heard that Captain Kurotsuchi was being as nuts as usual. I hope that Nemu heals okay.
She's not really healing. Her new body is supposed to be done pretty soon. Akon's saying she'll be whizzing around doing Shumpo in a couple of years.
I wonder what that'll look like. So, you're sure that Captain Kurotsuchi was talking about Ryo's left arm, right?
Yeah, but I have no clue what it all meant.
The arm changed his tune and was saying some pretty weird stuff, wasn't he? Like, always been a Quincy or something.
Huh? No, that can't be right. Why would the Ryo's left arm have been a Quincy? One of the Quincy's must have gotten their hands on Ryo's left arm and absorbed it like Ukitake did, or something like that.
How should I know? It's not like we heard the entire conversation.
Madarame, what do you think?
It's not like I have anything to add about something Yumichika doesn't understand. Ask Captain Kurotsuchi.
I've tried submitting interview requests for other things like what happened to Izuru, but he's apparently been busy for the last half year. He's rejected all interviews. Supposedly, he's got a load of new research to do. Well, it's probably mostly to do with the Sereite's reconstruction and Nemu.
Sounds tough. And it's not like you're cut out for desk work.
It isn't whether I'm cut out for it or not. Madarame, you wouldn't listen if somebody told you stop fighting because you weren't cut out for it, would you?
No way. If somebody tried pulling that on me, I'd start by cutting them down.
Hey, don't you have a younger sister? When I looked up who was currently in charge of Karakura Town, I was surprised to see the name Madarame come up.
Yeah, you're talking about Shino, right? I don't really know if she's my sister or my cousin, though. Apparently, on the first day she got to Karakura Town, about 10 huge hollows got the best of her, and Ichigo had to step in. She's still got a long way to go. I'm glad I told her that she really wasn't cut out for Squad 11. Can't have her getting mixed up with the rough boys here.
Well, even a normal Soul Reaper from Squad 11 would probably die after facing about a dozen huge hollows alone.
That's right, Madarame. Not everyone is like you and Captain Zaraki. Did anyone else see the fight? I want to gather as much information as I can.
Yeah, there was somebody.
Who?
I'm pretty sure Yamada was collapsed right next to us. Yeah, he's that third seat from Squad 4.
Half an hour later, Squad 4 Barracks.
Well, I really was just collapsed and paralyzed.
Why are you so scared of my face?
Oh, huh? Well, you looked pretty scary earlier when I saw you on the road, so I thought that you might be in a bad mood.
Oh, sorry. I was just a little irritated earlier. I've got to go to the aristocratic district to research some stories after this. I didn't know how to get started, so I was a bit annoyed.
Uh-huh? You're going to the aristocratic district?
Yeah, I got authorization to enter, but I wasn't sure which establishment to start with or what to do. Captain Kurotsuchi and Miss Yoruichi seem busy too, and all the Central 46 and Gilded Assembly procedures seem like a pain.
I actually know someone who knows a lot about the aristocratic district.
Huh? In Squad 4?
No, not in the squad, but he said he had today off, so I think it would be alright.
Huh? Who the heck is it?
Yes, it's Seinosuke Yamada, my older brother, I think. He just left, so I think he'll be at home or in the central clinic in the aristocratic district right now.
Really? Actually, the rep in the central clinic is named Yamada, isn't he? I had no idea he was your brother. He made his way into a lot of articles before I became editor-in-chief, so I remember him. Hey, what's with the I think?
Unlike me, my brother has Kaido skills, so sometimes I wonder if we're really related.
What's the use of worrying over that? Don't worry about it. Your Kaido reputation is top-notch, even according to the Seirete Bulletin opinion poll.
But, My brother might have pitied me so much he bribed everyone to vote. Sorry, I'm so sorry.
Why is everyone in Squad 4 so negative about their skills? You, Captain Kotetsu... I wonder if it's because Unohana was a strong-minded Soul Reaper compared to the others. Sorry, Hinataro, but it'd be a lifesaver if you could introduce me to your brother. Well, if he's Hinataro's brother, he's got to be friendly. Meanwhile, Squad 1 barracks. Tokinada had entered the barracks with a large entourage and ordered everyone to clear the room so he could have a one-on-one chat with the head captain. Been a while, Shunsui, since you sent me to the Maggot's Nest, right?
Has it been? I heard that you were under house arrest for several hundred years.
That's a foolish story. The head family was embarrassed that they had to charge me with a crime and were attempting to pretend I never existed. If that was their plan, they should have just given me an official judgment and executed me or exiled me instead. And what were the results of hesitating to banish a criminal from their home? Just look, that very criminal stole from them everything.
So, can I take that as a confession that you plotted to get rid of your predecessor?
Of course not. Can't you tell I'm being sarcastic? But supposing that were the case, I am already the head of house. Even if something were to surface later, it would be a simple job to hush it up. And it won't be just a reduced sentence, like when I killed my friend and wife. No, I can make it as though the crime itself never occurred.
Would it really go that well? The current Central 46 are very different than the ones in the past.
But aristocratic society itself hasn't changed, has it? Even though they were nearly decimated by the horde of Quincy's and did nothing but hide, most of the aristocrats in the Seirete still haven't found it within themselves to change. What has changed is those of you who have experienced the world, such as you and Kuchiki, and a part of the Chihoin family. Having just 2 of the 4 great noble clans fighting on the front lines is laughable. If you include the Shiba family as part of the 5 great noble clans, I suppose that would make it 3. The 5 great noble clans. They were the first 5 families, supposedly involved in the creation of the Soul Society, and the Tsuneyashiro family was considered to be the head of the 5 clans. Once you exclude the Soul King and Squad 0, the Tsuneyashiros could be said to be the most influential beings in the Seirete. Of course, I haven't changed in all these years. And that includes my grudge against you, Shunsui Kyoraku.
That grudge is mistakenly directed. I stopped you because you were headed toward committing a crime.
You completely blindsided me. I was planning to pretend to be the grieving husband whose friend and wife had betrayed, with no one the wiser. But I had no idea that a woman chaser like you would be so shrewd and competent. Really now, you did quite the job exposing my crime.
I didn't expose anything at all. As soon as I came to the conclusion that you must have killed your friend at the end of an argument, and then killed your wife when she rebuked you, all the evidence was in the testimonies. There is something I need to ask your pardon for, though.
Are you apologizing to me? I can't imagine that you're going to say you're sorry and ask for my forgiveness for revealing my crimes, are you?
To be honest, until I knew the truth, I kind of suspected you of inciting the rebellion caused by Rukia's scheduled execution. I thought you might have been working behind the scenes at Central 46 and given her a harsher punishment than she otherwise should have received.
Oh my. So was I about to be blamed for a crime because of Aizen? But what would have made you suspect me? I had no reason to kill Rukia Kuchiki. Why, I've never even met her.
The Kuchikis weren't the only ones talking when Byakuya Kuchiki married Hisana, a resident of the Rikongai, or when he tried to adopt Rukia. The Tsuneyashiros raised objections too. If someone like you had put in a word after you'd been reinstated, you could have done something secretly through the Tsuneyashiro family.
Like I said, I had no reason to say anything in the first place, did I?
You don't need a reason. You do things just to pass the time, to rile people up, especially the aristocrats you happen to dislike the most. You'd go that far just to upset people. Isn't that your true nature, Tokinada?
Stand down, Chunsui. Are you sure you want to speak to me like that when you're only the head captain of the 13 court guard squads?
And so, what business brought you all the way up here? If you have complaints about the court guard, I'd rather you send those through the Gilded Assembly or the Central 46.
Oh, it's a simple matter. I want you to get in touch with some people for me. Yoruichi Shihoin doesn't seem to receive communications through the aristocratic networks. Even the Gilded Assembly don't know where she is. Kuchiki is another matter entirely, but you should at least know how to get in touch with that shrew, am I right?
Tokinada handed Kyoraku a piece of paper with a message for Yoruichi written on it.
She's already given up her position as head of the family to her brother Yushiro. What are you scheming?
Nothing in particular. I just have a very straightforward proposal for the sake of fostering harmony in the Soul Society. No, for the sake of harmony in the world of the living and Hueco Mundo, too.
Is that really the only reason you came?
I also came to see you. We've been whittled down quite a bit these days, our class from the academy. It stirred up my resentment. Oh, that's right. Ukitake croaked, didn't he? How glorious for that bum from Rukongai that he kept the Soul King's right arm in his vulgar body.
Kugo Ginjo. Do you know that name?
Yes, if I recall correctly, he was the first substitute Soul Reaper, wasn't he? I heard that he was that rabid dog who betrayed the Seirite. But I suppose he did set the precedent that got us our hero, Ichigo Kurosaki. So Ukitake got the quality he paid for there. But why would you ask me about that man?
I was just confirming a little something. And you shouldn't discount Ukitake's preparedness that way.
Nothing in this world is precious, especially in the Soul Society where everything is a fraud. Oh, and I'll let you know this too. Of course, I had nothing to do with your mother's execution, and now, Issei. It's not as though I'm the shadowy mastermind behind everything. If I had had authority back then, I wouldn't have made her death such an easy one. I would have teased her as much as possible the way Rukia Kuchiki was tormented and then made a big deal about killing her. And I would have given Kyoraku a front row seat in the Garden of Judgment. I wonder if Kyoraku would have gone so far as to destroy the gallows for your mother, the way that boy did for Rukia Kuchiki. Would he have tried to save her even if it made the Seirite his enemy, the way Ichigo Kurosaki did? I think it unlikely. Kyoraku would have failed your mother, he would have abandoned her, and he would have done it all to protect you. Nanao Issei?
Could you wrap up your monologue, Lord Tokinada, head of the Suniyashiro house?
Tokinada sensed a cold spiritual pressure like submerged ice from Kyoraku. He put his hand on his Zanpakuto.
Oh, how frightening. I wouldn't want to be pulled into the depths of the sea and have my throat cut. I'll take my leave for the day.
After confirming that Tokinada and his entourage had indeed left the barracks, Kyoraku stepped toward Nanao and grasped her quivering shoulders, enveloping her in a warm spiritual pressure to console her.
Are you all right, Nanao?
Yes. I apologize, Head Captain.
You must have been scared. On top of that behavior of his, he has an unpleasant spiritual pressure.
I wasn't able to move when I was immersed in the late Captain Yamamoto's spiritual pressure, but this was completely different. Captain, I'm against it. I'm against him becoming the head of the 4 great noble clans.
I'm right there with you. This has really stirred up trouble. A lot of it.